Paid for by Citizens for Ken Lancy, Joseph Casaro, Treasurer, 1614 East 40th Street, Cleveland, Ohio, 44103.
There were nearly 15,000 foreclosures in Cuyahoga County last year. More than 6,000 people are homeless in our county. 30% of them are women. More than 500 of them are children.
My name is Bo Hill, and I'm the Executive Director for the Salvation Army Harbor Lights Complex. And pretty much we manage all the residential social service programs that the Salvation Army has within the city of Cleveland. Some of the things that we provide substance abuse treatment, we provide community correction services, we provide transitional housing for homeless men. We also oversee the Zelma George Family Shelter. And the Zelma George Family Shelter is approximately 40% of the available family shelter beds located within Cleveland and Cuyahoga County. For the family shelter alone, we serve on average anywhere between 30 and 32,000 nights of service a year. And that equates to somewhere in the area of 90 to 95,000 meals just to the people that are in the family shelter. Overall, we'll serve somewhere in the area of 320 to 330,000 meals a year just to the people in our residential facilities, and we'll have somewhere in the area of 130,000 total nights of service. Today, our in-house count for Zelma George alone is 96 people. Of that, approximately 65 of them are children. It's reported by Cuyahoga County that somewhere in the area of 14,000 people were affected by foreclosures in the last year. And that's a pretty disturbing statistic. An interesting fact about that is not necessarily a lot of the people that have a direct foreclosure come to the family shelter. A landlord will be foreclosed upon, and the family that we serve, we're renting from the landlord. They become homeless because of the fact that the landlord can no longer keep that place and they can no longer be in there. We ran some numbers, and there was an increase of about 30% of those sort of families that we ended up seeing over this time in the previous year. The emergency shelter tends to be the place of last resort. I don't think there's anyone that knows the numbers truly of people that are in difficult situations, that are sharing places, that are sharing homes, that otherwise would be in the shelter system, but I can imagine it's a whole lot of people. We see a lot of people with a lot of different stories every single day.
That's great. That's great. Let's talk about this homeless shelter. The whole campaign team is really concerned about this. It just doesn't look like a good idea. It could be dangerous in there.
Yeah, what's wrong with the idea? I mean,
Well, look, three things. Number one, it's going to look like a political stunt. Number two, these guys are not going to receive you well. And finally, Jim's right. It is dangerous.
I've been to 33 other agencies. It's not a political stunt, it's due diligence. And if I don't go talk to those guys and understand exactly what their issues are, then how they got there, we're never going to be able to figure out how to get them out of there or prevent them from going. I came from the streets. I can blend in. I understand exactly what I need to do in order to get in there to be able to be one of them.
Would you just listen to me once?
Not on this one, I can't.
We have the plane scheduled for when?
The plane is scheduled for the 1st, and for the Star Spangled Spectacular for an hour down around Public Square. And then on Saturday, it's scheduled for the parades, and we're also going to have it loop Cleveland, Lakewood, and Parma. Excuse me.
Yeah, we have the plane with how big is it? Like it's a 30-foot banner, 7-foot high.
Pardon me?
To fly in the sky, you know.
Yeah,
Wait, jobs in progress.
You guys told Ken that he could spend the night.
Yeah.
He could do intake, he could do he could prepare the food, he could serve the food, he could have a discussion with the guys afterwards, and he could spend the night. That was our understanding of what he was allowed to do. If you take away him spending the night, then that takes away part of the effect of what it's all about. I mean, I don't think that's right.
It's a public facility.
Peter Lawson Jones was allowed to stay there. Why not Ken Lancy?
The homeless are allowed to stay.
Well, it's a publicly funded venue. I'm going to talk to Ken. I'll get back to you. I'm sure he'll still come, but I will get back to you about this. Thank you.
What's going on?
They don't want him to spend the night in the homeless shelter.
But it's a public facility, so any member of the public should be able to be there. It's publicly funded.
Here, we've got a problem with the homeless shelter. They're not allowing you to spend the night, so we've got the team up here. We were doing our agenda items, so if you can come up ASAP. All right, bye.
A couple of them.
Well,
Hi, Ken.
that's a new look. I've never seen your hair messed up. Not one hair out of place and now there are a few.
Neither has anybody else. So, ever.
We just got some bad news.
The Lutheran Ministries that runs 2100 Lakeside, the homeless shelter, has decided that you can't spend the night.
Party's over, our frustration. Either side, there's no salvation. But now, my friend, we finally get another try. In the end, please don't let this chance go by. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone. If you don't want the same old players to play the same old song, seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone.
The Lutheran Ministries that runs 2100 Lakeside, the homeless shelter, decided that you can't spend the night, that their rules.
Isn't it our right as a taxpayer to spend the night? Who funds it? We fund it.
The yes,
county
it's
funds it.
governmentally funded.
Is there a fear that you're going to take a bed that is needed?
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. If the bed was needed, I would, sleep on the floor for the evening. Absolutely. I'm not looking to take a bed. I'm not looking to take a meal from anybody, I'll pay for my own food. Having the understanding that I would be able to go in, I would be able to work at the intake table, and then have a meal with them and talk to them after. I wanted to spend some time with the people that stay there to understand how they got there specifically, and if there's anything the county can do before they get there to assist.
If they are adamant about you not staying, you still want to go home?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. I just want to make...
Until 11 o'clock.
That was the question, is that you want
Or
to...
till lights out.
Those
No,
are-
it's 10 o'clock, I
Those
think.
are the key...
All right, I'm going into the 21st. I got off here at 26th Street in Lakeside. I'm going to walk down to the shelter, and that's where I'll report in for 3 o'clock work, as they say. And we're going to do the intake, and then we're going to work, try to stay the whole night. We'll see how that works out. All righty, I'll talk to you.